Welcome to my views and news. Views, it seems that Tigray Regional President Debretsion Gebremichael is fighting for his political survival. He is under immense pressure. Can he survive? Did he trust Getachew too much? What happened? Has he lost support? Is any stakeholder backing Debretsion Gebremichael? Several questions. It seems that Debretsion is facing stiff resistance from different corners. Getachew is his spokesperson. Getachew is the Tigray presidential spokesperson. At the same time, Getachew is member of Tigray People Liberation Front's top body, executive body. And Getachew is in support of removal of Debretsion Gebremichael. Is in support of some new name for region's interim government head. And maybe after election as well, we could see Getachew oppose Debretsion, and Getachew himself is a candidate reportedly. He wants to replace Debretsion. Secondly, within the party as well, we are seeing that Debretsion support for Debretsion has been weakened. Military is divided. Where are they standing with Debretsion? Why? Because downfall of both is linked. If Debretsion goes, where they will have to go as well, I think. That is why we are seeing that the two are nominating themselves for top slots in the interim government, which is being rejected by a federal government. But some other sections of Tigray military leadership are demanding removal of Debretsion. Sadkan and others, they want new leadership in Tigray. And when people from Tigray say new leadership, obviously they mean removal of at least Debretsion Gebremichael from the top slot. And people of Tigray as well, we can say they want change. And one aspect of this change is that the one who is leading must be changed. So he's the one who was leading the last 2 years or so. But people of Tigray got nothing from this war. So it's not that he is immensely popular in Tigray. No. He's losing his support in Tigray too. Fourthly, Addis Ababa. Federal government supportive of Debretsion retaining his role as president of Tigray? No, as we know that on a Friday and Saturday in Bishoftu, meetings were held between Debretsion and Abiy. Reportedly, Sadkan was there too, and Abiy rejected Debretsion's name as interim government administrator. And Abiy made it clear that there should be a new individual for the slot of Tigray interim government and not from DPLF reportedly. Lastly, international support for Debretsion is nowhere to be seen. Yesterday, Anthony Blinken was in Ethiopia. In Addis Ababa, he held meetings, meeting with PM Abiy, meeting with Demeke Mekonnen, a deputy of Prime Minister, meeting with aid organizations, meeting with Daniel Bakele of Human Rights Commission. No Debretsion there. Reportedly, Anthony Blinken met with Getachew. Getachew and Ridwan, the two sides, they briefed Antony Blinken about the implementation of Pretoria deal. because the two negotiated in South Africa, others as well. Debretsion was not in South Africa. That is why we're saying that Getachew is in touch with international players, with international media as well. Debretsion has no Twitter account. Diaspora has been asking Debretsion to create a Twitter account to stay in touch with diaspora, with international community. International media follows Twitter, but he's nowhere to be seen there on Twitter. He has only a Facebook account. Even on Facebook, he shares posts once or twice a month. Very rarely he's seen on Facebook. So he's completely isolated from international media, from international powers. So that is why now when he is being challenged politically, he is finding it difficult to get support from within Tigray, from Addis Ababa, from international community. Debretsion could have been part of the team for talks held in Nairobi and in Pretoria, South Africa. Maybe he thought it below his level to be part of talks. He nominated a team led by Getachew Reda, Sadkan and others. He should have been part of the team, but I think he trusted others too much. Those he trusted are now potential candidates for Tigray's interim government leadership. And throughout the 2-year war, from November 2020 till November 2022, we saw that it was mainly Getachew Reda which was tweeting on daily basis. Mostly he was appearing for interviews. He was in touch with international media. He was briefing Tigrayans, Tigray diaspora about battlefield developments. Debretsion was nowhere to be seen, though he was there in the battlefield. He never fled. He led his party from the front. Getachew was there too, no doubt about that. Both were there. But Getachew cashed in on Debretsion's absence from international media. Now he is a potential candidate for Tigray interim government leader, or even after the election, if TPLF gained majority, Debretsion would find it difficult to be elected as Tigray region's president. I personally think that Debretsion has no one to blame but himself. He should have stayed in touch with international media throughout the 2-year-long war. He should have stayed in touch with international players in this conflict. He should have led talks in Pretoria. He should have selected someone to be his spokesperson without considerable political standing in Tigray. He chose Getachew Reda, who is popular, who has following, who has experience as well. He has worked in top positions and at federal level. And now you see that Getachew is being projected as a likely successor to Debretsion Gebremichael. Can Debretsion survive? It's too early to predict what's going to happen. Only conclusion we can make is that Debretsion is under pressure. He wants to survive politically. He will try to get some sort of role in Tigray interim setup. And in post-interim setup, he will try to have a major role. And for that, he needs TPLF support. By the way, party still supports him. It's not that entire party is against TPLF. It's not that entire military is against him. No. As I said earlier, Varade and Debretsion's downfall is linked. and party members back him as well. But he is facing opposition from some top men in Tigray, like Sadkan, like Gattachorda, like others. The center, federal government is not supporting him as well. International players too. So that is why it is becoming difficult for him to survive politically. I think he should be active again. He should try to stay in with international media, with Tigrayan diaspora, with people of Tigray, with TPLF, with federal government, with international players. That is the way to survive. Otherwise, he'll be eclipsed by other leaders from Tigray. Thank you for watching.